Shamaya, you did it.
STL Music.
Is that good? Welcome back to the show. So listen up, we back in the game. Sweet the league, we got the flame. Motivated to the fullest every single day. We wake up, get it in every way. Rifling two in the global inspiration. Talk this world to top news, no hesitation. Sweet the league is back. We always coming back, that's a fact. Wanna tell them that STL music, mama, we did it, where we at? Coach Jill in the house with the flow so tight. Every round, rubber rock stats, we unite. Yeah, the best show, Monday through Friday. If this ain't different, they lying. We got the energy. When I say sweep, you say the league. Sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. San Antonio.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweet the League Radio.
Legends collide. If the Cowboys fall short, we'll still ride the tide. Like Jordan in the clutch or Brady's last play, we bring the fire, keeping fans in the fray. Coach Gio and Rudy calling the shots, with Derek coming straight Hall of Fame thoughts. So hit that subscribe, don't sit on the bench. Get in the game, every highlight's intense. The live stream's on, tell your friends don't delay. Like Kobe in the fourth, we're here to play. Sweep the League TV, where greatness resides. From the pods at the drives to my homes on the rise. We're all in on sports, NBA, CFB, and more for fans. By fans, it's the show you'll adore.
Happy Friday evening, everyone, and welcome to Sweep the League. For those of y'all not familiar with Grading the Market, he is Elias. I am Jacob Eric Cancino. Hey, Rudy's asked us to go ahead and sub for him today, and we said, sure, we'd be happy to, didn't we, Elias?
Yeah, I said I was like, Rudy, hand the keys over, bro. We're ready to do this. You enjoy your little vacay. They'll see you next week. We're ready to sweep the league with y'all fellas.
Yeah,
Y'all go
yeah,
ahead and join us in the chat below, y'all. Help us
yes.
guide the show.
So I believe over here at Sweep the League, y'all talk sports, vice cards over there at Grading the Market. So Elias and I are going to do the best we can, man. So what's up, bro? How you doing?
No, I'm doing well, doing well. Just finished watching some Friday Night SmackDown, getting ready for the WrestleMania season.
Oh, yeah?
I heard through a little birdie that STL 360 might be making a comeback next week with a certain co-host. That remains to be told, though. Got to get confirmation from the big man, but it looks like your boy Elias might be back on the network, baby.
Yeah, that'll work, man. That'll work. You excited for that?
Heck yeah, bro. WrestleMania is my Super Bowl. Granted, I like watching Super Bowl, but my Cowboys never make it, so it's not that fun. I at least have a couple characters in the game that I'm rolling for. Shout out John Cena, the GOAT.
Hey, and speaking of wrestling, man, is there anything going on in the wrestling world today?
Yeah, so the women just finished having a 5-team gauntlet match with Bailey and Valkyria winning. So they'll be facing Liv Morgan and Raquel for the titles at WrestleMania. Other than that, it's a very slow build today, which is expected, trying to keep everyone nice and safe and ready for the big show next week. Yeah, bro, that's pretty much it that we have for wrestling tonight. Is there anything in the hobby that you stumbled across that you want to let us know?
I got a couple of things in the hobby, like what is it? Cooper Flag's rookie card, Superfractor, was just pulled. I was trying to get a picture for y'all for that, but yeah, it's a 1 of 1. It's pretty much the same card that got all the Wemby fans going crazy last year. It was cool, man. It was cool, but yeah, that one got pulled. I'll try to find a picture and share it with y'all at some point. Yeah, so hey, anyway, the reason why we got here, full disclosure, Elias and I were supposed to do a show either yesterday or today. We were planning on doing one yesterday, but then when I'm talking to Elias, we looked and we noticed that the Spurs game was going to be today at the exact same time that Sweeps kicks off. So we thought, hey, Why not just do sweeps and do a little watch party with y'all? Kind of a little sort of thank y'all for joining us and following us here at Sweep the League. So that's what we're doing here. We're also going to talk about some little sports and stuff like that. So on behalf of Elias, myself, thank you all very much for tuning in. No matter how you're doing it, whether it be YouTube, Twitter, and that pretty much it. Yep.
X, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you find Sweep the League TV, we're just very thankful y'all are giving us a chance to lead the boat.
Yeah.
We're not we may not be as good as Rudy. He's the king of kings when it comes to Sweep the League, but he's put his trust in us, so y'all could go ahead and trust us as well. So like Jacob was saying, we kind of timed it with the second to last Spurs game, so we're hoping to catch at least a quarter or two with y'all fellas. Um, let's see what happens. They've been stinking it up. But Jacob, how are you feeling, bro? Do you think we're gonna have a good game? Are we gonna bring the Spurs luck?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, that remains to be seen. But hey, speaking of the tonight's game, yeah. So the Spurs are visiting Phoenix Suns. Spurs go over there with a 33-47 record. They're coming off the victory over in Golden State. Man, that was pretty exciting. I heard Harrison Barnes knocked one in at the buzzer. Suns come into this tonight's game 35-45. I believe they've lost like 8 straight, bro. That's not good, man. That's not good at all for you, Coach Budenholzer. Uh, yeah, so I think we got from Jeff Garcia. Make sure you give him a follow at Jeff G Spurs Zone. Had his injury report saying Fox, Wemby, Minix, Jeremy, Keldon, and Devin, they're all going to be out, man. It's like, God, we're going to have like the Austin Spurs out there or something like that.
It seems like they're getting ready for floating season,
Yeah,
Jacob.
yeah,
The Frio Rivers right down the street is Galveston. They're getting their tubes ready. They're probably out there at HEB shopping for the groceries, whatnot. Gonna have a cookout beachside because our season is finished. But that's not exactly a bad thing because the Suns didn't get anywhere. I feel like their fall from grace is far greater than ours, being that they were in the playoffs these last 2 seasons, and with the addition of Kevin Durant, they're supposed to be a championship team, bro, in my opinion. But injuries happen. Being Spurs fans, prayers for Wemby for that situation. We lost Fox too, but I actually believe the Suns had a fighting chance in the beginning of the season to make it to the big game again. But
man,
things happen, bro.
man. To me, the Suns are cooked. They are bad. They're going to be stuck, bro. Because the Suns, when you go back and you look at them, it looks like they really did do a version of like going all in. You know what I mean? And it didn't. It didn't work. It didn't work. And I think read somewhere that the Suns don't have like their first round pick until like 2032 or something like
Yeah,
that. It's
20
just like
2032, and this offseason they're expected to lose Kevin Durant, so they're going to be down a superstar. Bad news for the Suns, possibly good news for the Spurs, because who would be a better addition to the Spurs if not a Kevin Durant? Grant, forget his age. He's still averaging 27 points a game, 4 assists, 6 boards. That's better than anyone on our team is currently doing. So I'd welcome him with open arms. Of course, we probably have to give up some fan favorites and possibly some of our draft picks, Jacob. And the fans are going to riot because those draft picks are, the most prized possessions. That's all we have our team going for, bro. If it wasn't for the draft picks, we wouldn't have much, honestly.
yeah, man. Hey, about an hour ago, Jeff dropped this. He's over. I guess he's always working. But yeah, speaking of like the rebuild and stuff like that in the off season, Mitch Johnson says that the Spurs rebuild will be done the right way and not be quick. I'll go ahead and read this. He says, we knew this was not a quick fix or get rich scheme where you win 60 games in the second year of this process. And we've started laying the foundation for it. And it's something that we are just embracing and doing it the right way, which is not going to be quick. Mitch Johnson on the Spurs rebuild. Once again, that's from Jeff Garcia. Make sure you give him a follow. Jeff G Spurs Zone. Yep. Elias, man, what do you take of this, dude? Is it? I mean, I read this earlier, and I was like, man, come on. Does this sound like they're preparing for like another season
Excuses. That's all it is. That's all it is. He's covering up his tracks already, bro. He knows that he ruined this season. Maybe not single-handedly, but he was not the coach for the job. And this Wemby's sophomore season went down the drain. And even after he was gone, they didn't do much with him. Whether he was on the court or not. And that all falls on Mitch Johnson. All he's doing right now is setting. How can I say this? He's already covering up for himself for next season, bro. He's already making up excuses. If we don't get to the playoffs, we're supposed to be rebuilding.
Yep.
Rebuilds take time,
Yep.
yada yada yada. We've heard it all before. But look over at the Oklahoma City Thunder, bro. They did a complete rebuild, and they're what, second seed in the West.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just tired of these excuses. As a Spurs fan, it gets old, bro. How long have we been rebuilding? Rebuilds shouldn't be taking this long. So by the time we know it, Wemby's going to be in his fifth year, and if we're still rebuilding and not in the playoffs, what happens then? He's going to
Mm-hmm.
explore his options elsewhere. I would, in my opinion, because I'm not going to be wasting my talent somewhere that's claiming to be rebuilding but is actually retracting. In my.
You know what else I took from this is when Mitch Johnson is saying that and coming out with this statement, and I believe, I think you're right. He's just setting it up and stuff like that. But it kind of, I started thinking a little bit deeper. Does that mean that he's going to be the guy next year then? Because you know what I mean? Like, I mean, think about it. If Mitch Johnson knew that he wasn't going to be around next year, he's always going to be the true professional. You know what I mean? And he ain't going to say something that he's not supposed to say. But I mean, you're right. This answer is like setting up for, like,
A
oh
Mitch
man,
Johnson coaching return. He's
yeah,
he's already planning his next season. We're still not going to be in the playoffs, guys, but I'm going to be in the sidelines coaching. That's what I read. If you're reading between the lines, fellas, use your common sense. He's kind of laying the stepping stones that this is the new Mitch Johnson era. And I've heard fans left and right even mention, well, Coach Pop wasn't a didn't start off as a coach, and look what he became, a five championship coach. He's like, what's to say Mitch Johnson can't get us there? Well, unlike Pop, I don't trust Mitch. I never did. So that's just my opinion in the whole thing, bro. I'm gonna be so disappointed if we bring him back, being that we have coaches as good as, the Nuggets ex head coach,
Mike
um,
Malone.
Mike Malone, the Grizzlies head coach.
I forget
Bro,
his name.
yeah, there's a lot of people on the table that we could be chasing, but it looks like, or at least it sounds like, Mitch Johnson might be getting the keys to the Spurs.
Yeah, man, it's I read that I read that statement and I was just like, oh no. And I can't remember, but I was talking with somebody uh before, and they were asking like, hey, maybe it was you. We're like, what do you expect, for the Spurs next season? And I was like, honestly, at the beginning of next season, I hope for change. You know what I mean? Obviously, we're gonna see like Wemby, we're going to see Castle, Fox will be back, and there's going to be some changes and stuff like that. But if we come back, if they come back and the team is the exact same, I don't think just me, I think Spurs fans are going to be really, really frustrated. You know what I'm saying?
I think on the contrary, they're going to be excited because there's fan favorites. Jacob, there's people pleading for CP3 to re-sign. Why? He's taking away from De'Aaron Fox, taking away minutes from Stephon Castle. He did his job. He mentored them the first half of the season. He was exactly what we needed. A coach on the court, since the one on the side of the court wasn't doing his job, in my opinion. Another dig at Mitch. I know y'all are gonna be upset with us saying, "Oh, they have the two biggest Mitch haters on sweep the league," but that's not it. We're just tired of seeing our team hurting, because as they hurt, so do we.
Hey, just to give you a heads up, it looks like the Spurs and the Suns are about to tip off here in a little bit. I don't believe I saw Kevin Durant in there once again, and pretty much looks like the Austin Spurs are visiting Phoenix. So with everybody out, so yep, just get her. Hey, you got a card question? This is from Joel Cologne. Got a card question? I own two full unopened sets of baseball cards that have Julio Rodriguez, Bobby Witt Jr., Gunnar Henderson, and Atlee. Okay, rookie cards continue. Oh, okay, it's a long question. How can they be graded without opening the boxes? Would they be considered pristine? Because I may have some money right there in the future. Joel, I got to be honest, man. I really don't understand what you're saying. Like when you have those and they're in a box, or I'm not familiar with that kind of product. Like, are you saying that you have boxes that probably could contain them, or what? Give me a little bit more details, and I'll answer that question, bro. Appreciate it, though. Leha said, "I said for a few weeks now, Mitch will return. The Spurs are idiots. He will be the coach. I've heard from some really reliable sources, but on the real, yeah, no, man. And I don't know if you may have gotten here a little late, but yeah, we were just talking about that, man, because uh, Jeff, I guess, well, he got this from,
Mitch
uh,
himself. Yeah.
yeah, something like that, where Mitch says that, hey, guys, it's pretty much just warning everybody, hey, that they're not going to be skipping steps again, I guess, and the rebuild's going to, doesn't go, doesn't happen quick. And I was just like, man, it almost seems like they're getting us ready to run it back or something. So, oh man,
And I jokingly said if Cooper Flag decides to stay in college, that the Spurs are going to tank another season. So maybe they know something we know. Maybe Cooper's staying back and they're waiting to see if they could get young bull. So expect another bad season, fellas. If there's not a change in coaching, I know it's very negative. There's not a change in coaching, then oh, get get your white towels ready. My season ended with Wemby went down. If we don't have another coach, I might just check out by All Star Weekend next year. If I'm being honest.
yeah. Got Anthony Turkis in there. Hey, my dog. What's up, Anthony, man? Yeah. Anthony's taking a little break off from grading the market. Elias is filling in for him. Appreciate both of y'all, actually.
Yo, we appreciate you, Brody.
Anthony, the show is awesome. Yeah, it looks like we already tipped off over here in Phoenix. Spurs currently up 6-5, little under 10 minutes to play in the first. Yep.
Yeah, it looks like they got Young Castle leading the squad since we have everybody and the Coyote out.
Man, I gotta be honest, man. I'm so ready for this season to be over with, dude. I'm ready for the ping pong balls, bro. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
serious.
Sunday can't come quicker, bro. Sunday
Sunday
can't
come.
come quicker.
Speaking of Sunday, I'm actually gonna be at the game Sunday against Toronto. So if any of y'all are heading out there, hit me up. I'll be there. I'll be in section 119 with my brother. Yeah. Yeah, I
Yo,
actually, I actually,
nice.
I actually won those tickets on the Spurs app and stuff like that, and the call your shot. Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, I did the call the shot and got an email notification that says, "Hey, you're the winner of two Plaza level tickets." It's like,
Man,
all right,
that's crazy.
don't mind if I do.
Don't mind if I do, for sure.
Anthony, again, I heard some Wemby and Joker rumors. Any weight to that? Uh,
Um, I'll answer this one. I don't think so, Anthony. Honestly, that stems from people creating rumors off the firing of the Nuggets head coach. They're saying, "Oh, well, they're third in the West, right? Why would they let him go? Jokic must be miserable, must be upset with this move." But, what I've been telling everyone, this firing doesn't happen without Jokic's involvement. You don't just leave your all-star player out of the loop like that. So I think he'll be fine. I don't think Joker is on his way out of Denver. I don't think he's looking for a way out. If anything, I mean, it'd be great if we had Joker and Wemby on the same squad, but it's not happening, guys. Like I said, it's just X rumors that tend to spread like a wildfire. Like I decided, was it yesterday, Jacob, or today? I woke up, decided to spread some chaos. Said, "Oh, my sources said if we don't build a new arena, Spurs are headed to Las Vegas." I ended it saying, "I'm just joking, fellas. Don't take me serious. I just want to get y'all's attention to bless y'all with a good day." And I got blocked by a couple of people. They're
yeah,
like, "Oh, I had another friend on the side message, bro. You made it to my cousin's group chat. They thought this was a legit take. They thought, oh no, we can't lose the Spurs. This is to Las Vegas." I was like, "Bro, I'm just fooling. Don't take anything I tweet out seriously. If you want to be in the know, follow Jeff at Jeff G Spurs Zone on X. He's our go-to provider for, Spurs info."
Yeah, there ain't no there ain't no AI over there at Locked On Spurs. If you know,
let
you
me
know.
let me let me drink to that. You know,
If
you
you,
know.
if you know, you know. All right, so where
Speaking
we
of
at?
getting blocked, no, I'm just kidding.
What you got?
No, no, no.
Oh,
Homeboy blocked me, but that
yeah,
this ain't the place for
yeah, yeah.
that.
All right, so right now, just a little update. Spurs are up 10-9 on the Suns with a little under 8 minutes to go. Yeah, so yeah,
Oh,
so what?
bro, your feed might be delayed a bit. They're up 13-11.
Oh,
Cham
did I show you?
Yeah, Champagne just hit a
Oh,
three, bro. 16-11. They're off to a
oh,
fire start. I don't get how they're motivated without their all-stars, but the second you have Wemby in the mix, they all look like deer in headlights. They don't know how to feed the big fella. They don't know how to play with him in the lineup for some reason. I just don't get it. They tend to do better when he's not on the court. And that's just an observation I made. It's not
wow.
factual to most, but as a Spurs fan who's seen almost every game up until Wemby's departure, um, I've noticed that they play better when he's not really on there.
Anthony chimes in. He asks a question: Is Castle Rookie of the Year lock? Yes. Yep. If you ask anybody, not just Spurs fans, we go around. It looks like Castle is going to be the Roy. They actually did talk to him the other day, and they asked him personally, and he was like, "Yeah, I do believe that I already locked it up." Um, he still continues to play, so that's a good thing, man. But yeah, what do you got to add on that, Elias?
Man, I've said in the start of the season, once we drafted him, I was in an earlier episode of Locked On Spurs, and I let Jeff know that I believe Stefan Castle was the truth. I made a bold claim that this is more his team than it is Wemby's, at least for the meantime. He's the Batman on this team, with Wemby being the Robin. That was before we got De'Aaron Fox, of course. But Steph Castle plays with a confidence unmatched to any other rookie. Sky's the limit with him. He has one of the prettiest hesitation steps in all the NBA, in my opinion. Um, he's gonna be a big part of our next championship run. And I'll bet money on anyone. If we make it to the finals, it's gonna be with a Wemby, De'Aaron Fox, and Castle big three.
Yep, yep, yep. Hey, on the other side, man, we're gonna go ahead and touch real quick on what is going on at the Masters. I guess this will be a perfect time to show a little bit of love to our sponsor.
Are you looking for a contracting company that gets the job done right the first time? Look no further than MCS General Contracting. MCS specializes in top quality concrete work, including patios, driveways, foundations, and swimming pools. The team of experts are dedicated to delivering exceptional results and unparalleled customer satisfaction. At MCS General Contracting, they're not just hardworking, they're local. Based in San Antonio, they are committed to building relationships and trust within the community. That's why MCS guarantees your satisfaction. They pride themselves on getting the job done right the first time, every time. So why wait? Contract MCS General Contracting today to schedule your project and experience the difference for yourself. MCS General Contracting. Building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League.
Yeah, once again, if you need any concrete work done, make sure you give our boy Chris Leha a call out there at MCS General Contracting. He's the best in the city. I actually think I'm going to be getting some concrete work myself, and I already reached out to him, and we've already talks have begun with that. Yeah.
Nice, man. Yeah, they're definitely the best in the game. Shout out Chris Leha and the whole team over at MCS General Contracting. If you can think it, they can create it. They bring you that diamond hard concrete. You won't regret it. Go ahead and hit them with an email, hit them with a phone call. They'll be good to get back to you. Like I said, y'all could think it, they can build it.
Yeah, man. All right. So we today they just wrapped up the second day over at the Masters in Augusta. Justin Rose is currently at the top. Bryson DeChambeau, he had himself a good day today. He's
Nice.
sitting right behind him, 7 under. Rory McIlroy killed it today. He finished the day 6 under, and you got to remember he shot par yesterday, so that 6 under was good enough to get him all the way tied for third, man. So he
Man,
had a
talk about a comeback.
yeah, he had a horrible. Yeah, he started off hot on his day one. I think he went four under on holes 1 through 14, and then the last four he went four plus four, so it just took it out. So yeah, everything that you see that he's done, he just did it today for his score. Man, I got my guy that I picked, Scotty Scheffler, shot caller Scotty. He's tied for five at 5 under. Yep. So that's pretty much everything that's going on at Augusta.
Man, I
All right,
saw
man. Why
this.
don't you give us an update? Seems that you got
All right, so the Spurs are up
go ahead.
17. Spurs are up 17 to 11 at the moment. They just turned the ball over. Suns taking it down the court. They just hit one on us pretty easily. Seems like defense is lacking a little bit, but it's only the first, fellas. Let's not panic yet.
Yeah, give it
And
time.
as I say that, they just got outboarded and scored on. Come on, man. So Jacob, you were talking about the Masters, man. I was on TikTok and I couldn't tell you who the golfer was, bro, but he was putting like I putt at mini putt. He missed the
Oh
ball
yeah,
about 4 times, bro. They just said, "Pick up your ball, on to the next hole, bro. This ain't going on. This ain't working for you."
I did see that. Yeah, just go ahead and show you what Elias is talking about. It was actually pretty funny. I did feel bad for the guy, man. I was like, that's horrible, dude. All right. Oh, yeah. There it goes. Nope.
Man, that's how I
Dude,
looked.
he had to
That's how I
mark it.
looked trying to play putt putt with my wife at Monster Golf up there in San Antonio. I'll tell you, you know what?
Yeah.
Hole 3 is a wash. Let's on to the next one. Look at that, man.
And then he finally gets it. He finally gets it. He almost. I felt so bad for him. I'm gonna go ahead and let it play again because I transferred it pretty late. He's
That
just
one
like,
took me up.
oh man, just rim the cup. Then he just, I'll just 1 foot it. Oh no, God, that was so bad.
I'm like, if
Yeah,
this is a skill set that gets you to the Masters, sign me up. Y'all catch your boy Sith Elias or Sith the Heel at the Masters next year. I'm
and he
about to put in my audition tape.
said, I'm gonna get a jacket. Leha jumps in. Who the hell cares about the Spurs? Man, dude, yeah, yeah. Like I said, I'm ready pretty much for the season to be over. Like I just want those. I'm ready for ping pong day, ping pong ball day.
Ping pong ball,
Yeah,
yeah, bro.
right.
Champagne.
3 for 4 and three with 6 minutes left in the first. Yeah, yeah. That's what's going on right now. Yep.
Man, he plays fantastic. Thing is, he's very inconsistent. I was a big, he started off the season pretty hot. He's been probably our best 3-point shooter on the team, and nights like tonight shows you that he's more than capable of being that fourth guy for us. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Inconsistency is a killer.
Yeah. Sure is.
And I want to go back to Leja's comment. He says, "Who the hell cares about the Spurs?" My boy is fighting for his life every day on X when it comes to not bashing the Spurs, but you know, trying to make fans understand that this season is a wash and that next season might not happen for us. He's not a hater, guys. He's a realist, and I'm backing my boy up. That's Chris Leja of MCS General Contracting. We have a comment by Lil Mac if you want to pull that up.
Yeah, definitely. Says Trey Johnson to the Spurs, please.
Please, man. That's the trade I was pushing for before the De'Aaron Fox trade happened. But now that we have De'Aaron Fox, I'm like, do we really need Trey Johnson?
You know
What are
what?
your thoughts?
It would have been interesting. I wish I could have been a fly like on the wall if some of those talks were made because I think where everybody is more interested, if we would have got Trey Johnson, what would we have to like give up?
Oh, I think you're thinking about Trey Young, bro. They're talking about Trey
Oh,
Johnson.
I guess something else. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
something else, bro. No,
I
no,
don't
don't
know.
worry about it.
I don't know that guy then. Leia says, I'm a fake fan, but people are too damn sensitive about this team. Oh, man. Yeah. Yep. And Leia, remember that Atlanta
Says
pick?
remember
It ends
ends
up
up being 15 F
F them pick.
them
Come on,
picks.
man. Elias is
Elias,
talking
he's
about
talking about the Longhorns player.
Oh,
Yeah, no. I know who Trey Johnson is. I'd like for him to join the squad for sure, but like I said, I feel like we need someone experienced. We don't need another project player, in my opinion. Which is I'm leading the train. I'm leading the Kevin Durant train. I hope we get him, or at least someone at that caliber who plays on that caliber.
Master
Jason,
Joshua joins us. Says, "Yo, glad to be joining. Did we win yet? No, believe that's still in the first quarter. Josh, thanks for dropping by, bro.
Josh, we're on the winning train though, bro. Keep faith, because Steph Castle and Julian Champagny are showing out.
All right, Little Mac jumped back in. Trey Johnson from UT. Okay, I'm not familiar with them. Yeah, sorry about
Yeah,
that, guy. Hey,
no,
but
no.
hey, but you know what? Switching gears. I think you had some little Derek Carr news that you wanted to share with us, didn't you?
Yeah, shout out to my Saints fans, Swiss and Leha. Derek Carr might be missing next season due to a shoulder injury. How do they feel like that? Is actually what I tweeted. I tagged a couple Saints fans on that post, and they were unhappy. Not so much that he's injured, more the fact that he's still on the team. They have Spencer Rattler, which I think they'd be better off rolling with him than Derek Carr. If I'm being honest, Carr's become too inconsistent. He's the better number four if we're talking jerseys, right? Everyone compares him and Dak Prescott, but they're both on the same boat, bro. They both need to just give both respected teams an out and leave. Derek Carr is holding the Saints back, just like Dakota Prescott's holding the Cowboys back.
Dang. Leha jumps in. Someone take my phone away and shut down my eBay account. I got to stop buying cards. Yeah. Actually, Chris gave was actually reached out and called me earlier or texted me earlier. He was had some card questions and stuff like that, and I'm happy to always
What
answer
was he
card
hunting
questions.
down? The Derek Carr? Derek
Uh,
Carr auto?
I believe he was hunting down some soccer cards. He had a couple of questions, or he had a question about a soccer patch card, and he actually had a question about some, you know what, some Stefan Castle cards, some rookie cards. I think somebody was selling some on eBay and stuff like that. I think one of the things, and I could be wrong, Leha, correct me if I'm, correct me if I am, but I think one of the things that got him concerned was this seller. He was selling like these Stefan Castle cards, and he was like, "Hey, if you buy one, it's $25. If you buy two, I'll let them go for $22 a piece. If you buy three, I'll let them go for 20 a piece," and so on. And you know what I mean. So it's like, dang. But if you
That's pretty
look, if
sketchy.
but if you no, but if you look at the post, he did put that he only had a quantity of four. So, and then it was coming from a breaker. So I'm pretty sure that
It's
breakers,
legit.
yeah, that's all they do pretty much all day long. And so, yeah. Joe Clone jumps in. Hey, I just posted on X and tagged you both with the picture of the box sets I was talking about. Okay, Joe, I'll look at that as soon as I can. I promise, bro. And if not, go ahead and reach out to me on X. People do it all the time, bro. Don't worry about it. You can even DM me. You'd be surprised at how many times I get that happens to me. I don't mind. Ask Chris. Ask anybody.
Yeah, and he's friendly, y'all. Don't worry. He didn't turn me away either when I had those card questions. That's actually how Jacob and I became friends. I had a question about cards. I saw everyone tagging him. They were tagging him. They were tagging our boy Angel. I'm like, you know what, Jacob? I have this so and so card, or I'm looking for an Emmett Smith auto. Can you point me in the right direction? And we got that deal done pretty easily.
And man, little Matt coming in. Shots fired, bro. Shador Sanders has bust written all over him. Oh, no.
Yeah, Leha says Derek Carr gotta go, but Dion tweeted eye emojis for a post about his boy joining the Saints. Do you guys really want Shador Sanders? Honestly, his play style worked in college. It's not gonna work in the NBA. I mean, in the NBA, in the NFL, that squad isn't built for that type of play style. They're not the Ravens. He's not Lamar Jackson. So yeah, I kind of agree. He does have bust written all over him. And
Yeah.
yes, fellas, I am a Dallas Cowboy fan. So if I hurt your feelings or if I upset you about your team, y'all are more than welcome to chase me after mine. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, and there's nothing you can tell me that's gonna hurt me more than they've already done.
Joshua jumps in. He says, "COMC, check it out." You know what? Switching over to grading the market, I think we're actually going to be working on a little project with Joshua when it comes to grading the market and his COMC stuff. So as soon as we discuss that, we'll let you know what happens. But yeah, there's going to be more to come on that one. Is
Stack a bust. All right, y'all really want me to go in depth with my feelings. I'm gonna keep it PG-13. Just I'm PG because I promised Rudy. But Dak Prescott at one time could have been the chosen one, but he got exposed. I guess everyone got they were surprised his rookie season. They almost had a clean sweep, right? Almost took the whole league by storm. And what happened his sophomore year? Everyone figured out his game. Everyone figured out he can't stay in the pocket. He freaks out, he runs out, he doesn't have any receiving weapons. And that's it, bro. That's what happens in the NFL. Once they figure you out, you either adjust or you bust. He was actually on the way of making a comeback, and he snaps his leg, Jacob, and just completely reset. You can only reset your playing style so many times before it's time to hang it up, right? Everyone's tweeting out, "Oh, he's looking slimmer. His hamstring looks good." His hamstring looks good because you've seen him throw some practice shots. Let him get tackled a little bit, and you'll see how good his hamstring's holding up. If I was the Cowboys, I'd be looking for his replacement ASAP. We got rid of Trey Lance. We got rid of Cooper Rush, which I think is a big mistake. Cooper Rush is who kept us entertained. I was gonna say in the league, but we weren't that good last season. Cooper Rush was the only reason the Cowboy games were worth watching, in my opinion, and now we got rid of them. It all starts through Jerry Jones, and this franchise is just like the Spurs at the moment, stagnant. So let's see what can come of it.
Joshua jumps in. Who takes the biggest leap on the Spurs during the off season? Set projection time. What you got, Lies?
Give me a little time to think about that. Let's hear your take first.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
let's put you on the hot seat.
Well, you know what? We're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to wait to see who's actually gonna be around first. You know what I mean? They got a lot.
well, well, what I
Well,
liked from last season was when Benyama bulked up a little bit. So hopefully he continues doing that, building his confidence through the NFL, through the NBA, right? Through their offseason, putting on some muscle. Hopefully next season he'll play in the paint a bit more, being that he should be more built to be in the paint. I understand why he doesn't do it as much. We've seen him when he's in there, he's getting thrown around. I mean, he weighs about a buck 50. I could probably post him up myself, but I'm sitting at about 245. So he has to get his weight up, like they said. You want to be somebody, get your weight up. It worked for Giannis Antetokounmpo. It could work for Victor Wembanyama. He's a threat at deep, but let's get him in the mid range in the paint. If he works on that, we saw him sitting next to Hakeem Olajuwon. If he could learn that little dream shake called the little UFO drop or something, rename it, patent it, we'll be all right.
Joe Cologne taking shots too. Says no, you guys, y'all got Joe Milton now. LOL.
Joe Cologne, yo, Joe. Let me tell you a funny thing about that. I'm dyslexic, and so when the news came out, it didn't have the picture attached. So I thought we got Joe Mixon. I was like, yes, it solved our running game. But it was actually Joe Milton. I was like, oh man. I mean, he can ball. I think Patriots should have kept him. He plays better than Drake May, but hopefully he gets some time this season. We saw what they did with Trey Lance. They had him sitting on the bench collecting a check, which isn't a bad thing for him, but we need people that are going to actually ball out for us.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Joel, just to give you a heads up, I did receive your tweet, and I do know exactly what you're talking about. Yep, it does make sense. Yeah, I'll do a little bit of more research. Going back to that question that Joel was asking earlier, and when he said like, "Hey, I have some rookie cards, or I know I have this guy's rookie cards," and he's like, "They're in the box and they're wrapped," and I was kind of scratching my head here. I'm like, how do you know you got those guys in there if it's the box is still
Sealed,
wrapped?
yeah.
Yeah, what Joel was referring to is when he purchased a box, they're complete sets. They're
Oh,
complete
okay.
sets. You know what I mean? So Yeah, I got you. I got you. All right, I'll get back to you on that one, brother. I'm not too familiar with complete sets and stuff like that, so that's why I said I will get back to you.
I mean, if it sounded foreign to you, imagine how I took that. I'm like, I'm just learning about the hobby. Jacob, you're Qui-Gon Jinn, and I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Here we go. Rudy swears by Milton. That's why the Pats have now this Christmas time. Man, I swear.
Man, Rudy was also the biggest believer in Mac Jones, and look where Mac Jones ended up.
Hey, hey, people are gonna start taking shots. But hey, speaking of taking shots, man, what's going on with John Morant, bro? You see him? He
Oh man,
he's
the fines are piling up. They're like,
he's
"Oh, you're not allowed to shoot anymore."
he,
So what's he doing now? What's he doing now?
he went from shooting to just straight up throwing grenades into the crowd.
They technically said you can't brandish firearms, right? They didn't mention anything about explosives. So, he hits that dagger three, pop, pin, straight up in the crowd, and the crowd's loving it. They're falling behind. They're going with the boom motion, bro. I love it. He's such a troll, but he could back it up, bro. He's a beast in himself. He just needs to
I,
handle slow, though. He just needs to calm down a little bit because those fines will add up. I don't care what sponsors you have, I don't see his shoes moving like a Wimbenyama shoe.
yeah, no. When it comes to John Morant, man, those grenade celebrations. Yeah, you could tell though. You could when this is just my opinion. All right, we know I'm going to get killed because over here at Sweep the League, we get killed no matter which way we go. That's all of us. But
For
hey,
real.
to me, it's funny. To me, it's funny. This grenade one is funny, dude. And I would. If I was out there in the crowd, you know what, I would start like jumping and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I was even thinking about it earlier. It's just like, let's say I was sitting courtside, would I go so far as to like, let's say John made it like a good three, just toss him a prop, bro. Toss him a prop. Be like, here you go, John. Like, let him throw it. Boom. Make it. I know I'll get walked out, but to me, that thing would
It'll
be
be worth it.
fun.
It'll be
It'll
worth
be
it.
worth it, man. Yeah.
And I think he knows what he's doing because he decided to whip out that celebration late into the season. He wasn't out here throwing bombs to start off. Granted, he wasn't on the court because of his shenanigans, right? Whipping out the rifle, gunning the gunning the bench is just a weird celebration. I mean, Gilbert Arenas got canceled, but he actually had that heat on him.
Yeah. And you know
So
what's even funny too about this John Morant thing is he says he's not stopping.
yeah.
Uh, he made it known. He's like, he's not stopping. He was getting fined and stuff like that. And he's like, all right, well, let me see now what I can do. And this is what he's turned to. And he came out, he was like, hey, I'm straight up throwing grenades until they tell me to stop. And then,
What's the next
boom,
step? He's gonna
yeah,
whip out him. He's gonna whip out a melee weapon. He's gonna be out here swinging a mace, swinging a sword or something.
and
John Morant's just rebellious, but the good kind of rebellion. Because I think taunts shouldn't be blacklisted. In my opinion, it's all part of the game. We don't
job,
want it to end up like the no fun league.
yeah, job busting out the rocket launcher next. You know what? It's crazy. Bow and arrow, bro. Bow and arrow. Just bam. You know what I mean? Do something. You know what I mean? Like,
Man,
it,
well, this is what I mean, bro. Like the bow and arrows banned in the NFL. I don't get it. And they went ahead and they banned CD Lamb's slime
yeah.
taunt too, bro. They said they're gonna give him a $1,500 fine, $15,000 fine every time he does it,
If I was Ja, I
bro.
would pretend like I would have did a musket, like those old time, and like come down and stuff like that. Paka! You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
go all out, dude. If you're gonna go all out, go all out, dude. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, yeah. When it comes to all that, uh, to me, it's funny. It's funny.
Yo, I wanted to go back on something we covered at Grading the Market. Did you see that people are actually lining up 2 days in advance for that LeBron Barbie doll? You and I cut its legs out from under it. We goofed on it, and it's actually something that people are wanting. I know you could put LeBron's face on anything and it's gonna sell, but a Barbie doll, bro? Are you waiting 2 days out in the elements for a Barbie doll? For any of your favorites? I mean, I love Manu Ginobili as much as the next guy. You know, that's my all-time favorite Spur. That's my goat. But I'm not gonna be waiting outside for a Barbie,
Yeah,
whether it's for me or my daughter, bro. It doesn't matter.
yeah,
LeBron fans are a bit wild, man.
yeah. That's ridiculous, dude. Hey, heard you got some news on Jalen Wells, man. What's going on there?
Oh man. So you were telling me you actually missed out on that injury. He went up for a layup and they swept his legs from under him. He landed on his face pretty aggressively and he actually got stretchered out. That's what I forgot to mention to you. They had him stretchered out and we're like, "Oh my God, is he concussed? Is he leaving a pool of blood? How severe was it?" Well, it came back. He fractured his wrist. I forget what else. He had a facial contusion as well, and they're just gonna go ahead and put him on the sidelines for the rest of the season. They don't want him to continue, which, you know, I don't think he'd be ready. However, the way the fall looked, he has to be concussed, in my opinion. I'm no medical professional, but keep him on the sidelines. Let's make sure he's 100%, because head trauma in any way could has side effects leading up to weeks, months. It happens, bro. He might not react now, and he just suddenly could develop a headache or something and not wake up from that. God preventing, we don't want that to happen. So I think it's the best move. Keep him on the sidelines.
I gotcha. Yeah, man. I must have missed it. I don't know where I was
And
at when that happened.
they swept his legs from under him like it was a malicious act. I mean, I'm all for bringing back 90s style defense, right? Or, the early 2000s, like the Bad Boy Pistons. We had our boy Ron Artest, but we don't see malicious acts this severe happen. I mean, we've had Draymond Green kick someone in the nads not too long ago. That was probably the most severe thing happening. I think our last legit malicious act that shook the league happened to your boy Kawhi Leonard. Everyone remembers his Zaza Pachulia closeout.
Mm, mm.
So, and that changed the game because without that, we wouldn't have this, the closeout falls either, foul
Yeah,
calls.
it's actually known as the Zaza Pachulia rule. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's what it's simply known as. Yeah, I agree. Hey, you got an update on what's going on right now in Phoenix, man?
Yeah. So Phoenix they were leading. They just lost the lead to the Spurs. They're up 42-33. They're on a fast break. That looks like Mamu's on the court.
Mamu.
Mom was doing his work, of course. They're looking good, bro. There's a couple players I don't recognize, but they're out here balling out. So I think they actually have some of the Austin Spurs on the court. I mean, might as well let them get their minutes, right? It's the
I
last two games of the season, and they're doing a good job. They're playing better than our usual suspects. So
I do. Yeah. Yep. I was joking around at the very beginning, and yeah, I think there are some Austin Spurs in the house tonight.
Lil Mac said, "Put LeBron's face on some toilet paper." I guarantee you it would sell, though. I guarantee you it would sell. My favorite back in the day, I used to collect shoes. Since you're known for your hobby collecting cards, I was an avid shoe collector, and I had every pair of LeBrons, bro. I remember one year I waited to get, I believe they were the LeBron 11 Easters. They were green. They were white. They had this green bandana mesh look to them. I took them out one day, went to the park. Uh, Out of nowhere, I stepped on a ketchup packet, destroyed my shoes. I tried rubbing them out, but since it had the mesh on them,
Hmm.
the stain was only spreading more, and that was it for that, bro. I waited in a queue for about 3-4 hours. Finally got the shoes. They were shipped to me. They were perfect. I love them and destroyed them within a week.
Hey, I guess we're gonna go ahead and take our second break. Elias and I will be back on the other side, and maybe we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I think we can go ahead and stretch it out for the first half. What do you say, Elias?
Yeah, we got about 5 minutes left, so let's take them to halftime. This game's heating up. Suns just came back 38-42. They're actually getting the ball back. So let's see where we're at halftime,
We'll
fellas.
see you on the other side, guys. Alrighty, had to get hydrated real quick, man.
No, for real, I chugged the whole bottle of Hill
Yeah,
Country Fair water.
I got my Taco Cabana Pepsi out and stuff like that tonight.
Taco Cabana, bro. I have last time I went to Taco Cabana was during the Spurs and Jazz preseason game, bro. I love their cilantro ranch, bro. It's great. Like I'd go just to stock up on that.
Yeah, Joel Cologne comes in and he says, Pachulia changed the trajectory of the Spurs. No lies detected there, brother.
And not just that, the trajectory of the league. He's without him, there's no closeout foul calls. There's no. Can you say people flop more because of Zaza's rule? We've seen the kickouts, from shooters. They tend to kick out and try to. They're the ones trying to land on the defensive players' feet, in my opinion. A lot of them bait going against that foul call. SGA being one of them. Potential MVP. Um, Shane Gillis Alexander, bro. He's the biggest flopper in the league. I hate what our league has become, bro. I believe Rudy, owner of Sweep the League, put out shared a TikTok of, I believe it's Kyle Kuzma on a fast break. He just pulled up for a wide open three when he had the lane open, bro. They weren't even trailing at that, Jacob. I don't get what's become of the league. There's the Zaza Pachulia effect. There's the Steph Curry effect. I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about. You have big men, even kids, just launching from the logos. Everyone's trying to be Steph Curry nowadays, and it doesn't work out.
Yep, yep. Hey man, once again, he is Elias. Make sure you give him a follow at Sit the Hill. I am Jacob Eric. Make sure you give me a follow at Jacob Eric C if you aren't already. Once again, we're just here. We're filling in for Rudy. Rudy's currently traveling. Everything's fine. He asked us to go ahead and sub for the day, and we said, "Hey, be happy to." So that's what we're doing here today for him. And we're just gonna messing around a little bit and stuff like that. But Rudy will be back on Monday, uh, I'm sure.
You'll
uh,
probably you'll probably get a review though.
yeah,
Hopefully we
I
did
know, no,
good.
no, Elias and I are going to get a review. Elias and myself, we're going to be back on grading the market next week. We'll see what we got. We just more talk about cards over there, and we still dabble in sports and stuff like that.
You
But
know,
yeah,
you
that,
know, Jacob. Wednesday's my wife's birthday, so Wednesday through Friday I'll actually be up in Rockport. So y'all might be seeing a remote grading the market, Jacob, wherever he's at, and your boy might be recording off at the beach with some seagulls in the background. Who knows, bro? The possibilities are endless.
yeah, that's the thing. You never know. And you know what? It's funny. You know how we say you never know, man. If you're not following Sweep the League yet, make sure you follow. Let all your friends and family members know. Make sure that they subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, Sweep the League TV, because there are so many things that are happening uh, with the channel. Man, I'm not even. I don't even know all the details of everything. It's kind of like Elias and myself. We're hanging out over at grading the market in the clubhouse and kind of like, hey, we'll just be over here, boss. Let us know if you need something. And kind of like tonight, that's what we're doing. But yeah, there's a lot of things going on. I'll try to get more details. I know Rudy's going to probably get upset with that. Like, you need to be telling them about the refurbish and stuff like that. But I was like, no, hey,
Yeah, no, we don't want to mess that up for y'all, for them at least. But yeah, guys, I specialize on wrestling content. Be on the lookout for possible STL 360 in the near future. I used to host. Had to go on a little sabbatical. Had some stuff happen in my personal life, but where everything's back on track. So you could catch me grading the market with Jacob Eric for the foreseeable future and STL 316 possibly. Let's get. How about we get back in the chat? Let's see. Colon said you needed some shoe ladder for them kicks.
I'm not familiar with
Probably.
what that is.
Probably. No, no, no. I get what he's talking about. Hey, Jacob, did you see that Stephon Marbury is looking to bring back his Starberry kicks? Do you remember those?
I remember them. I remember the name. That's not familiar with the way they look, though.
Man, they were they were they weren't the best basketball shoe, but they were the best basketball shoes at that price. So, regardless of colorway, style, they racked you about 15 bucks, and they used to sell them at Stephen Barry's shop. Do you remember Stephen Barry's? It was like a graphic tee shop. You could get those shirts that said FBI and then in parentheses it'd have full body inspector, or join the dark side. We have cookies. I actually got my first wrestling tee from Stephen Burry shop,
Oh, really?
so their prices were set at about, I think t-shirts were $8, hoodies 15, and shoes, Stephen Marbury shoes were about 16 bucks. I mean, with those prices, you could kind of guess why they went bankrupt. The turnaround wasn't exactly that good, right? They put a lot of effort into their clothing, but the money just wasn't there.
Is that like the only place that they sold them at? Or
Yeah, they specialize at Stephen Barry, so they're thinking about bringing them back. Let's just see where they'd be sold at.
Joel Cologne jumps in. He goes, by the way, HBK is the GOAT, not Cena. But now I'm just aging myself.
Oh, I believe he's responding to my first comment I made where I said John Cena, the GOAT's gonna take out Cody Rhodes. My personal GOAT is the OTC himself, Roman Reigns. But my Mount Rushmore of wrestlers would include HBK. So I'll give you my Mount Rushmore real quick. So Randy Orton, probably one of the greatest heels of all time, especially 2009. If you know, you know. He went on a punting spree. He beat he punted everyone and then some. From Cena's dad to Vince McMahon to Stephanie McMahon. Oh, he was unstoppable. He's probably the greatest heel of all time, in my opinion. So there's Roman Reigns, Shawn Michaels, one of the greatest entertainers of all time. Had those killer outfits and him coming down from the zip lines during WrestleMania or Survivor Series. Him and Razor Ramon on that ladder match for the IC title was iconic. Eddie Guerrero, rest in peace, one of the greatest of all time. And Stone Cold Steve Austin. So realistically, I have Randy Orton in over John Cena. So
There you
that's
have
my
it.
mom. So Jacob, do you like wrestling? I don't think I've ever
I
asked
do.
you, bro. You've asked me about cars, but I've never asked you about wrestling. Do you like wrestling?
I do. I do actually. I just haven't been following it recently. Um, for me, if I'm not, I know it's going to sound stupid. It's like, yeah, no, really, Captain Obvious. But if I'm not, if it doesn't grab my attention, I just tend to like don't even
Yeah,
watch it. So like right
yeah,
now, I'm not watching it. But yeah, yeah, I'm a big wrestling fan. I tend to look at shorts and stuff like that. I love watching the old Eddie Guerrero shorts on YouTube when he's like cheating with the chair. That's
yeah.
my favorite one when he throws it to the opponent and he lays down and stuff like that. So the
No,
ref
what's
can see.
funnier that is when it would backfire on him, when the refs would catch him. Man, that was just if not funnier than the actual segment himself.
And I love the I like doing research and looking at videos of like the stories that happen like behind, So I like
The behind the scenes
the
stuff.
dark side of the ring type of the shows. Those ones catch my attention. Um, yeah, and then I constantly just look at the cast of whenever somebody's doing like a shoot or an interview, something like that. Um, yeah.
What I tell everyone, wrestling's come a long way. Storytelling wise, right? We've seen the cinema memes like, oh, this is great. But the only downfall to that is if you're not a consistent watcher, like weekly, these matches don't make sense to you. Or a lot of them, for example, like the Bloodline matches, if you're not familiar with the storyline, then you'd think that their style of wrestling just is boring. It's too slow, too plain. We're used to like high flyers like Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio just battling out on a random Saturday night, or
Mhm.
we could go as far back as Dusty Rhodes, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant. The stories, they really didn't need to be stories. You just get the two biggest men you have in the back, tell them, hey, you got 15 minutes to cook, and that's all it is. But now, wrestling may be too storyline driven, in my opinion. Like, if you're not, like Leha said, if you're not watching weekly, this might not be for you. This could be pretty confusing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But but I do watch, and I tend to I watch on the majors. I like isn't a like WrestleMania's coming up, right? Isn't it this weekend
Ne-
or next
Next
weekend?
weekend.
Yeah,
Next weekend.
it is supposed to be. Why did they go to two nights? Because it used to just be like on a Sunday before, right? And then now they go like Saturday and Sunday or something like that.
Yeah, so they decided to make the card a little bit bigger because they were starting to say, well, I just saw the score. Sorry, y'all, I got distracted. They're saying WrestleMania, for being the event that it is, shouldn't last as long as the regular pay-per-views, right? So let's expand it to 2 nights and see how that'll go along, how that'll work out. And it's been good, bro, for the most part. But I don't think they're thinking about making SummerSlam 2 hours. I don't think every pay-per-view needs to be a 2-day event. It works for WrestleMania because that's our Super Bowl. We have a stacked card right now at about, I want to say there's about 13 matches. Could be a little bit more, a little bit less. Don't quote me on that. But it works out. You're not oversaturating a show. Everyone has their time to cook. And, I think it works out better being a two-day show. But events like SummerSlam, I mean, if everything is going to be a 2 hour, 2 day event, then it kind of takes the magic of WrestleMania being what it is.
Hmm. The kayfabe is full time now. After show press conferences, social media posts, etc.
And you could thank the TKO merger for that. They dipped into the UFC world and they kind of thought, well, after the matches, they usually have press conferences or let's start doing different stuff, right? Like before it'd be strictly hard cam stuff. Like today before SmackDown, they recorded from a fan camera phone Charlotte Flair beating up Tiffany Stratton in the parking lot.
Oh,
Out of
really?
out of the ring attire, it's like, oh, they have real life beef, so let's push it. They have a match coming up next week in WrestleMania, so they kind of went that direction where it's like, oh, it could be kayfabe, could be a legit shoot, but
Hmm.
we all know what it is, bro. It's the direction WWE is going is unmatched at the moment. I mean, that's no shot at AEW. AEW is pretty good, but they're no WWE. Let's face it. Leja says it's like a damn telenovela. You got to stay on it weekly in both Monday Night Raw and SmackDown because them stories be crossing over. Now we have Chris. Chris and I bonded over the years, right, through the USOA stuff. But he kind of reached out to me when it comes to wrestling. He's like, "So why is so and so important? And how are these two beefing? Or why don't they like each other?" So I'm still filling in my boy, and that's what he's been watching weekly for the last year. Well, since him and I got to know each other.
That's cool. That's cool. You got to give us an update, brother.
They just went to halftime. Let me wait for the score to pop
Ah,
up.
ah.
I'll tell you this: we're trailing.
You called
Uh,
it.
I
We were
called it, bro. I said we're getting off to a hot start. Everyone's gonna be doing backflips, celebrating, but we all know what's up.
same.
Especially when the second half Spurs kick in. Second half has been our worst half for the last 5, going on 6 seasons. So don't expect much improvement. If we win, y'all go ahead. If we win, y'all go ahead and tag me on X. Y'all could call me a clown, hit me with your hardest gift, try and hurt my feelings, because maybe I'm how do we say at household? Estoy poniendo el sal. I'm putting that dagger through their hearts.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something about them when they go into halftime, man. We still don't know what's going on in the locker room at halftime, man, but something definitely is happening or not happening, i.e., adjustments or something like that. But hey, man, so we joined y'all for about an hour now, Elias and myself. We did exactly what we said we wanted to do. We spent the first half of tonight's game between the Spurs and the Suns with y'all. Um, Once again, before we leave, don't forget to subscribe to Sweep the League TV. And also, if you haven't already, give Elias a follow at Sith the Heel. Give me a follow. That's at Jacob Eric C. Once again, next week, we're going to be back on Grading the Market. Rudy should be back. We're going to go ahead and start wrapping this show up. You got any last words, Elias, for everybody?
No, I just want to say thank you to everyone for tuning in tonight. I know it was a bit different. Like I said, we're still getting to know each other, learn our cadences. Jacob, it's been an honor working with you, bro. It's uh it's been great, bro. Like you reached out to me, like I said, I didn't hesitate. You're good people, you know your stuff. I'm a big fan of grading the market myself. I haven't really been I'm not officially on Sweep the League, I kind of step in here and there on different networks, but I'm glad that you decided to reach out to me to be your partner in all this, bro. I really appreciate it. So the score just came back up. We are trailing 57-63, I believe, was
I
the
got you.
score I saw.
Yeah,
So if
yeah,
those
but
threes don't hit, that's it.
Yeah. But hey, man, going back to what you said, likewise with everything about everything that you said, bro. It's been a I haven't been working with you that long, but it's been cool. And yeah, it looks like it's fun, bro. You know what I mean?
It's working out.
It's working out, and yeah. So once again, Elias isn't. We've already been over this story. Elias was the very first one that I reached out to, and I was like, "Hey, man, can you help me out with grading the market?" Uh, and I asked you for a reason. I've seen that you working in other places, and I was like, "Hey, man, I wanted him." So thank you again.
Yo, thanks. Trust me. Correction, y'all. 47-53. I don't know. I was kind of predicting the future score.
There y'all go. Hey,
Same
y'all.
outcome.
Y'all have a good. Hey, y'all don't forget to hit the thumbs up. It helps Elias out a whole bunch. Elias and me with the boss, bro.
Yeah, and thank you to our sponsors. Let us not forget that MCS General Contracting, my boy Chris Leha, and his whole crew have the best. They bring you that diamond heart of concrete. Which side's the diamond, Chris? I don't want to take off my cap because he makes fun of my forehead. But shout out MCS General Contracting for sponsoring Sweep the League TV. And shout out Rudy, Gio, Gervin, everyone else on the network. It's a blessing working with y'all. Jacob, you're the GOAT. Look forward to working with you in the future.
Y'all have a good night, everybody.